Okay, thank you.
Nisha, you
So,
start.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shall we start?
Yes,
Jai
yes,
Hind. With
yes.
immense pleasure and great honor, I, Dr. Nisha Rana, in charge IPR Cell, Swami Vivekanand Subharti University, Meerut, and member AFTEFS Society, warmly welcome all distinguished dignitaries, eminent academicians, scientists, researchers, faculty members, students, industry experts, and participants from across the country to the day 16 of Krishi Manthan 21 days summer school training program. This unique academic initiative is being jointly organized by Rani Lakshmibai Central Agriculture University, Jhansi, University of Agriculture Sciences, Raichur, Swami Vivekanand Subhashi University, University, Gurugram, Sant Girira Guru Vishwavidyalaya, AFTEFS Society, Vital Biotech Education Group, Kota. This program has been started from 1st June and will be continued to 21st June 2026, focusing on agriculture, horticulture, forestry, sustainability, entrepreneurship, modern technology, and skill development. Moving forward for the technical session. So today we are having two technical sessions. So moving for first session, it's my privilege to introduce speaker of first session, Inna Koblyanksha, Associate Professor and Head Department of International Economic Relationship, Director of LCA Research Laboratory at Summit State University, Ukraine. Her research and teaching actively focused on innovation, sustainable relation development, environmental economics, and policies. She is the principal investigator of Jean's Monnet Chair Project, strengthening EU capacity in science and innovation, where she develops and teach course of European practice and scientific challenges, ethical use of AI in research, digital competency, and academic writing. She has delivered course of guest lecture in UK, Indonesia, Germany, and extensively experienced in international education and research projects. She is a member of European Digital Education Hub and Ukraine Educational Research Association. Now, I would like to request Anna ma'am to kindly deliver her lecture.
thank you, Dr. Nisha Rana, for this introduction. And I'm very happy to be here today and to meet all participants. Let me say some words about me and about my affiliation, maybe. As you know, I am from Sumy State University in Ukraine. We are situated very close to Russian borders, and this is the northeastern part of Ukraine. There are some questions, I guess. I would like to ask you to write questions in the chat while I'm talking, or maybe not maybe, but and I would be happy to answer them at the end of my presentation. And as I mentioned, I'm very happy to be here with you today and present results of our research on maybe a broad vision of sustainability and sustainable development goals, including experience from India, including experience from EU and Ukraine. And so let me start this very inspiring journey. So, the topic of my presentation is Sustainable Development Goals from Global Vision to Sustainable Agriculture and Rural Development. And in my presentation, I am aiming to show the role of agriculture in achieving sustainability and sustainable development goals. And I hope that at the end of our lecture, or maybe our session, you will agree with me that agriculture is the core of sustainability is a central issue in sustainability achievement. So let's start. But the first I would like, sorry, let me. The first, I would like just to outline the picture that we have today, just to combine indicators of world development, of global development, 26 years ago when this sustainability journey officially, I could say, start, and what we have now. So as for now, we have more than 8 billion people in the world. We have rising planet temperature. We have lots of people affected by land degradation that is accelerating now, and also we still have almost for more than fourth part of global population that are undernourished, that feel some kind of food insecurity. So should we do something with this? Sure. But let me present you some details about those trends and about maybe some environmental, social, and economic implications of this have now. What was during those 26 years? So the world population is growing. Yes, the fertility rate in all countries are lowering, but still we have about 70 million people every year, additional people every year. So sure, it means that we have more pressure on planetary resources, that we have more demand for food. We have more demand for other resources just to create our wealth and to sustain it in achieved level. So let's fix it. We have growing population year by year. So we should do something with this, yes. Another issue that is very challenging now, this is the global temperature rise. If we just check the reports of IPSS, this is Intergovernmental Panel for Climate Change, we can see an interesting issue that every time they say, okay, don't go over some line that is critical for our ecosystems, this critical for our planet, and every time we are over this line. And but there is some real limit when we need to stop. And as of now, this limit is like 2 degrees above pre-industrial level. And now we have 1.46 degrees of global temperature rise. So what does it mean? So it means that we don't have like too much alternatives. We just need to do something to stop this process. And sure, agriculture is also responsible and maybe should be involved in this process. But we will talk about this a bit later. Just look at those numbers. Uh, Concentration of carbon dioxide in atmosphere is rising. So we say that we need to stop this process of global temperature rise, but at the same time, carbon dioxide emissions is rising year by year. And if we compare our situation now and in 1975, we can say that during those time, the climate changes are fastering. So they are so rapid. As I mentioned, we don't have too much time to find some alternative ways. Only sustainability and sustainable development goals and policy and actions aligned with those goals. And the next one issue, like now we have lots of resources, we have lots of like technologies available. Yes, we have lots of material things surrounding us, but at the same time, lots of people don't have enough basic food. That is very dangerous. Dangerous because it's not just the danger for them, it's also the danger for the global system. Such situation creates conflict, such situation creates migration flows. Sometimes they are very pressure. So let's think about it. Just imagine fourth part of global population don't afford, don't have access to healthy diet. Uh, Among them are women, childs, and so on. So that is a very big challenge for our modern society. But I should mention that we have some success in this. So the number of people that experience food insecurity is slowing down or maybe declining, but at the same time, lots of people still don't have enough food and don't have access to healthy food. Another issue. So we can see that those situations like deterioration of environment, land degradation, uh, food insecurity creates a big challenge, resulting also in inequality. So lots of people depending on agriculture, they don't have enough resources to ensure their wealth that they have. They don't have enough resources to, as I mentioned already, healthy diet, but at the same time, a small number of people concentrate this global wealth. And what's the most dangerous here, that this, we can see that this part of people having the highest income, having the highest access to all resources is very, very high concentrated now. And it is going from 5% of people having high income to 2% of global population accumulating this high income and wealth. So sure, it's also a source of conflict, source of the reason or maybe push for migration, and sure, it's not like, yeah, can I say, it's not healthy for global stability and sustainability. But those situations also lead to over exploitation of resources that we have, and land is one of that. Uh, just when we think about agriculture, what's the main resource of agriculture? This is the land. Sure, we have some like projects now, like vertical farming and so on, but it's not enough to cover the needs of growing population for food even. And that's why land is used in a very intensive and sometimes dangerous way. And what's the result of this exploitation? We can mention that 40% of global land is eroded, is degraded, yes. And finally, if we combine, or maybe if we sum up all effects that we have on land, we can say that more than 70% of global land is degraded and eroded or affected in that or another way. So sure, it means that our potential to produce more food for this growing population is is limited, is going to be limited in very close future. So we need to make something with that, produce some ideas how to boost our agricultural productivity just to satisfy our basic needs even in food. So, just to summarize what was mentioned before, just look on this slide and what tendencies do we have? Growing population, growing temperature, growing number of carbon dioxide emissions in atmosphere that accumulate and sure will create new challenges for sustaining climate system in its normal way. Uh, about food insecurity, still every fourth people is affected by that. Not only, not every people can afford this healthy meals and healthy diet. We have some progress in maybe in consumption inequality, so it's going to be better, but at the same time, wealth inequality is worsened, and it's going to be very fast. And land degradation, our basis, our main resources for all activities, is degraded very fast. And so agriculture is one of the most industry responsible for that. Just to remind you that we have some issues impacting our agricultural activity: climate crisis, climate changes, growing temperature, affecting other ecosystems, creating like risks of droughts, floods, and so on. So let's check what's in this sphere. And like response for all that happened, we have not we but global society have introduced some like policies aiming to solve the problems that we have. I should say that in my slide you can see like history, a timeline of sustainable development concept development. I mean history of SD concept in this century 21. But I should say that this started much earlier. And the first maybe issue where sustainability was like mentioned as a new way of global society development was Brundtland report in 1987. Then we had the first Rio conference where global like officials and all countries agreed just to change the way we are operating in this planet. But finally, the main like political or maybe officially recognized goals, strategies were produced in this century. And so in 20, in 20s, there was a Millennium Declaration where some kind of sustainable development goals that we have now were introduced. They were just only 18, there were only 8 goals with 21 targets, and mainly they were they were developed for developing countries. And since that, countries assess the progress that we have in achieving those Millennium Development Goals. And finally, that was clear that not on, that only developing countries can't solve the problems that global population have. And the new idea have come, and this idea was that everybody, every country, in every area of this world is responsible for achieving sustainability, and that we need to combine different angles of this sustainability, like economic, social, and environmental, and that they are intertwined in the same way, like every area of this global world is also interconnected. We can't say that if, for example, developing countries will do their best, for example, if they have those resources and technologies, ideas, and so on, even if they will do their best, it's not possible to stop all processes that we have seen already in the global system. So that's why every country is responsible for achieving sustainability. Countries that are more developed, they are responsible for producing carbon dioxide emissions. At the same time, developing countries use resources very intensively, like land, forests, and so on. So the and finally, after some check of do we have any programs, do we have any progress in achieving Millennium Development Goals, that was clear that the progress is not so inspiring or high, and the overall measures are needed. And finally, in 2015, there was first introduction of current sustainable development 17 goals. Just imagine that we started with 8 goals and concluded with 17. That are very intertwined, interconnected. Every goal depends on achievement of others. And every country is also responsible for those goals. So finally, in 2015, there was, as I mentioned, an introduction of this vision of those 17 goals. And they are universal for each country. And 193 UN members, United Nations members, agreed to improve their policies, to improve their strategies, policies, and actions uh, to achieve this sustainability, global sustainability, and align all actions with this idea. So, just about the difference. If Millennium Development Goals were focused on developing countries, so Sustainable Development Goals are for all. If Millennium Development Goals, when the Millennium Development Goals were mainly like had more mainly like sectoral approach, so Sustainable Development Goals are intertwined and universal. They cover all issues of our, I could say, everyday life. When we look just that is I'm talking about. So they are integrated, universal, and sure they are urgent. So as I mentioned before in my first slides, we don't have this time. Global population is increasing, global temperature is rising, lands are degraded so fast. So we need to do some actions just right now. And so when we look at those 17 Sustainable Development Goals, we can find that, yes, they are really connected to our everyday life and activities, like no poverty, we all want to be wealthy, like no hunger, food security, we need these basic meals just to just to live, and then good health. Poverty and food insecurity impacts our health and this all makes pressure on public health system and impacting global sustainability and stability. Quality education. Sure, quality education allows us at the same to achieve first three mentioned goals, yes, as I will show you on the exams. And gender equality, a very big problem. We still have lots of things to do in this area because not every woman has an access to education, has an access to some resources, and nowadays technologies allow to provide this access, and that is very important, and so on. So you can see those 17 goals, but I would like to pay attention to agriculture's role. And here I would like to say that I can't say that agriculture is related with one of these 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 goals from this list, but it's related with every goal. Because when we talk about, for example, local communities development, agriculture is integrated because in some areas agriculture is a basic industry where local population is employed. In some areas, agriculture impacts just the way local community could develop because competitive resources, yes, that we have. And sure, just let me to repeat that agriculture is related with all of these goals, but at the same time we can distinguish some of them, several goals that are most important when we talk about agriculture's role in achieving sustainability. And those goals are like no poverty and decent work, because lots of people are dependent on agriculture, specifically in developing nations. And sure, some problems in agriculture development impacted also by some weather conditions or climate change or other natural disasters will impact the ability of those people to sustain their wealth, to be employed, and so on. I guess there are no doubts about the relation of agriculture and zero hunger goal. Agriculture is the main source of food as of now, and there are some alternatives due to modern technologies, but at the same time, those modern technologies use basic resources related with agriculture. And sure, good healthy diet is a way to health. And sure, in this way, agriculture is related with good health. Gender equality. As I mentioned before, lots of women still don't have access to other lots of things, but this is specifically very very difficult or dangerous situation in agriculture in developing nations where women don't have access, for example, to some financial resources and can't develop their farming households. And sure, we need to think about gender equality opportunities in agriculture area. And sure, agriculture is directly related with climate action and climate change and life on land because agriculture uses the land, and that is the main source or main resource in agriculture, and it affects it significantly. Just let's think about this. So a short summary about agriculture's role in global development and sustainability achievement. This is the source of income for lots of people. This is the source of food for lots of people. This is the source of wealth for lots of people, and especially in developing nations. Sure, this is the main factor impacting land and ecosystems because it uses this primarily and directly when we conduct agricultural activities. And sure, impacting land and ecosystem, agriculture impacts climate and make this contribution to climate change and global temperature rising. So what we have as a result? This result of use of lands in agriculture. So now we have lots of dangerous situations related with drought and water scarcity. Lots of people, 4 billion people, face severe water scarcity. And you can see that it generates lots of economic losses, the numbers that I am very surprised of. Moreover, lots of water objects, watersheds are disappearing now, and that create additional pressure even for countries that were not that not experienced this water scarcity in previous periods. So this creates the global challenge for everybody, and sure, like you can see that due to this water scarcity, more than 6 million people in Somalia, for example, face severe hunger. So that is agriculture is impacting water because water and land are the main resources, is impacting water resources. Also, indirectly, we are climate contribution to climate changes, and climate changes create this water pressure. And so finally, we get the results of that. The results that are in hunger, food insecurity, unaffordable food, and so on. Another consequence of climate change is some natural disaster and floods. So while in some parts of the world we have water scarcity and water deficit and droughts, in other part of the world are under pressure of floods, and they create also very big challenge. This creates also very big challenge because it doesn't mean that more water and better agriculture productivity. It means that more water and nothing after left. So floods are also a very huge challenge for current population. Like you can see amount of losses created by these disasters or conditions. Lots of flood events, and they affect almost all country. Just look at the slide. We have 168 countries affected by floods for the last maybe more than 30 years, and almost more than 1/3 of global population is affected. And lots of losses, as I mentioned already. Another result of agricultural activity, soil degradation. As I mentioned at the beginning of my presentation, more than 70% of global land are affected by different kinds of negative like conditions for the land. At the result, we have lots of people suffering from that. And but the prospects are more like not surprising, but are more dangerous. It is expected that if we will continue doing our agricultural activities in the same way, so it's expected that to 2050 year we will have more than 90% of land degraded. Sure, this will limit our potential to provide enough food for all growing at the same time population. Carbon dioxide emissions, we try to control them. We have different global agreements, Paris Agreement, Tokyo negotiations, and so on. But at the same time, it looks like there are no results from that. Because we have like different kind of impacts. From one way, it looks like, okay, we introduce some alternative energy sources that should decline impacts related with energy area, but at the same time, those alternative energy sources also need some energy and also need some support consuming energy. And so this create like a cycle. We try to create new technologies that will allow us to combat climate change challenges and issues. But at the same time, those technologies also need resources, energy resources. Like as of now, we have this digital transformation, lots of digital gadgets, things, and opportunities just to make environmental impact lower, but at the same time they all consume energy and need this energy that is not enough. But it's not pessimistic. I am optimistic in this sphere, and I hope that new technologies will help people to combat this climate challenge. But at the same time, we have overarching increase of global temperature that is dangerous for our planet and deteriorate our potential to sustain the level of wealth that we have. So, like a summary for these effects of agriculture also and the results of agricultural activity, just look into these issues. So now we have like four main crises: water scarcity, flood, soil degradation, and carbon emissions that impacts agriculture and that is also impacted by agriculture. So water scarcity and droughts are accelerating, floods are increasing, soil degradation is almost dangerous. I mean, the prospects are dangerous, and carbon emissions are also increasing and also leads to the accelerating all previously mentioned problems. But at the same time, do we have something to propose? Do we have any solutions to this? And in this part, I would like to present just to talk about some examples from India, from European Union, from Ukraine, how we can deal with those challenges that we have. So India is mentioned. I used open sources available because I would like to visit India, but haven't been there yet. So India is mentioned as one of global leaders in greening agriculture, in digitalizing agriculture, in providing some solutions how to ensure a healthy and nutritional food for growing population. So there are some initiatives from India government that are mentioned as very successful, and maybe you can like comment my words about this, and we could have some discussion about that at the end. So those initiatives are the following. The first one is GN Millet Movement, where millet are seen as a climate resilient culture, allowing to support or maybe allowing to satisfy the growing demand for food, because India's population is growing despite of like European part of the world. So this initiative promotes and supports achievement of zero hunger and good health, sustainable development goals, just because of like consumption of nutritional food, affordable food based on millet. And another initiative is Natural Farming Mission, that is aimed to reduce, or maybe not to reduce, but like to expand natural farming activities and support soil health, soil renovation, rehabilitation, okay? And this initiative is about chemical-free agricultural activities. There are lots of discussion in the world about opportunities or maybe ability of this chemical-free agriculture to feed the world and growing population. But at the same time, having such like areas of chemical-free agricultural activity lowers pressure on our lands. And so this initiative is mentioned as very successful, because more than 7 lakh hectares support this soil restoration in India. And also digital initiatives in India, like YENAM, like Electronic National Agricultural Market, like Kusum initiative about photovoltaic stations, that support lots of like provides lots of opportunities. First, this allows small farmers to be more economic competitive, because, for example, via electronic national agricultural market, they can trace the prices and get this information. This like reduces informational asymmetry and allows them to get enough money for the products they produce. Another side of this initiative is that young farmers could find new job and employment opportunities due to such digitalization in Indian agricultural market. And Kusum initiative is about is about use of solar like facilities, and this initiative have already created more than 32,000 of jobs. And so India is seen as a global innovative leader in sustainable agriculture and sustainable agricultural policy. But at the same time, another part of the world also have some like initiatives and ideas how to support this achievement of sustainable development goals and align their policies accordingly. So let me present some EU initiatives related with this. Just to say that EU has another problem compared to Indian, for example. There are a decline in in age of farmers. For example, the average age of European farmer is not the average, but the most European farmers are 65 and more aged. Declining in number of households and plot areas, that is very significant now. So as of now, we can see that the European Union integrates or maybe follows the strategy of importing food. But at the same time, they have some initiatives aimed to make the agriculture that we have, agriculture sector that they still have, more environmentally friendly. Let me present some initiatives here. So there is like Green Deal, the main strategy for EU, and according to this Green Deal, so what's the main idea? Green Deal is about being the first like state in the world in 2050 climate neutral. So this is, I would like to say, this very ambitious initiative, but they are moving there and have some like actions introduced to achieve this ambitious goal. So Green Deal is within Green Deal there are lots of support for projects and innovation, allowing to reduce significantly climate impacts, I mean carbon dioxide emissions and others. But not only Green Deal is defining EU agricultural policy. Precision agriculture is one of the main strategy today that is possible due to fast digitalization also in EU, in India. And this precision agriculture allows, I will talk about this a bit later, allows to get lots of benefits, to use resources more efficiently, to get more food from the same like amount of fertilizers, amount of water, amount of land, and so on, to control and monitor the process of agriculture activities. And really, it allows EU to solve their own problems. I mean, lack of workforce in agriculture. So because of this digital technologies, it's possible to like to reduce the demand for workforce in agriculture. Another initiative is circular bioeconomy that also aims to to reduce waste related with food. And nowadays, that is the global problem. Nowadays, we waste about 50% of what we grow. And this is not good, sure, because those wastes also accumulate some carbon dioxide emissions also that were released to our atmosphere and impact already on our activities. But the target, for example, within this initiative in EU, the target is to reduce food losses by 50% from their current amount until 2050. And common agricultural policy reform. Common agricultural policy is like discussed highly in EU and other countries because this is the system of subsidies supporting previously mainly animal-based farming. And what does it mean? It means that animal-based or is this dairy farming, for example, like just one example, dairy farming is responsible for carbon dioxide emissions, for nitrate emissions, and so on. So responsible for climate change. And now common agricultural policy is reforming, and it goes from supporting this animal-based farming to supporting plant-based farming that allows to get so necessary protein from another type of products without impacting our atmosphere and our climate so much. So those are the main issues. I will check. Does Ukraine large scale? I will answer after. Okay. I see your questions. So, and let me talk about Ukraine a bit. It's not easy now to talk about Ukraine's agriculture, but I will try. So before the war, Ukraine was mentioned as feeding about more than 400 million people worldwide. Mostly they were from developing countries, but also from Europe, from China, from US, and others. When the war started, so that created a global food crisis due to some reasons, several reasons. First of all, because we were not able to export our grains. And another issue, even when we start to export, the prices were so high because the proposition was limited. But what we have now, the situation is not easy, and now Ukraine is operating very good. We have productivity rates higher than even before the war. But at the same time, 25% of Ukraine's territory are contaminated with, I can't say war waste, but maybe are contaminated with mines, war waste, and are impacted or some in another way related with the war. And what's the main important here, that those areas are mainly the most productive in agriculture. So this is the south and east of Ukraine, where agricultural activity was concentrated usually, like in Sumy region also. And now we are not sure that we will be able to provide the same levels of food export as it was before. But at the same time, it's enough for us to provide food for Ukrainians. But this is still the problem in a global, in a global system, that one of the main players providing food is not operating on the same levels. Just let me to know that before the war we were producing 50% of sunflower oil in the world. We were at the top 5 producers for maize, wheat, barley, and now sure it's a bit problem for sustainability of all global system. But what we are doing now, as I mentioned, we have productivity rates even higher than before the war, started, and this is mainly due to new technologies. Really, we introduced precision agriculture because Ukraine also suffers from droughts, especially in the south. We introduce digital technologies. The precision agriculture also is based on those digital technologies. You can see this strategy, agriculture for zero, and we hope to boost our yields and to reduce the need of fertilizers. We try to revise our policy in agriculture sphere because it was not so much efficient even before the war. But now we see that we need to promote activities of small farmers. Lots of people moved from regions affected by the war, are living in rural areas, and now they find job there. They are employed there, and farming is like the most possible activity for them. And that's why promoting those small farmers activities, allowing them to be competitive in the market, are our main targets while revisioning this agricultural policy. And sure, the mining priority, it's not, maybe that is the main challenge and the most difficult situation now. It is expected that we need almost 100 years to clear all territory. But the target is to to clear 80% of contaminated land within next 10 years. Sure, it's possible to achieve this target only when this contamination will end. But some activities are having places now, but they are not enough, sure. And this needs also lots of money, like more than $30 billion. And sure, this is not possible to have those funds now. And so, but if we talk about global level and agricultural technologies and agricultural development aligned with sustainability, do we have any opportunities now? What are the main technologies underlying this sustainable and environmentally friendly agriculture? And the first technology that I could mention, this is the climate smart agriculture. It's not one technology, sure, it's a system of different technologies, methods of agricultural activity that aim to reduce the impact of agriculture on climate change, and that aim to reduce the like negative consequences for agriculture stemming from climate change. So let's talk about main technologies in this area now. In our research, we made a patent analysis. This research is in press still, so it's not mentioned in my references. I just will make some insights for you, giving some insights for you. So we analyze patent data about technologies in energy and water use efficiency in agriculture, and what we found that the most popular technologies that are patented are greenhouse gas cooling systems. Not greenhouse gas, but greenhouse cooling system. So introducing such local system is of high priority and is explored by innovators now. Another issue is solar water pumping, different types of methods and technologies to produce such solar water pumps that allow to use energy efficiently. So don't use traditional coal-based energy or oil-based energy, but to use alternative sources and at the same time to use water more efficiently. Technologies related with energy storage, and you can see that photovoltaic energy technologies are not so explored now compared to other types. When we talk about water efficiency, so yes, precise use of water is the number one priority, and possibly exploiting alternative energy sources. Water conservation technologies for areas that have seasonal water deficits, it's also a priority. And so this is now we have this research and patent landscape in agriculture. So the main conclusion from this, that the main challenge for agriculture worldwide is to use water and energy in the most efficient way. And sure about land, but we didn't discover land issues. Another type of maybe kind of climate smart technologies, this system of technologies is precision agriculture. And just let me name a few like possible opportunities that precision agriculture creates. So we can just understand what we need. Yes, we are analyzing our fields, analyzing the stages of plant growth, stages of growth of plants. We just can assess how much fertilizers we need, how much water we need, when we should have some activities, agricultural cultivating activities, and so on. So it allows us to use resources more efficiently, fertilizers, water, and also workforce. Those system allows to support decision, to calculate necessary amount of fertilizers, to identify the best time for agricultural activities, and so on. And sure, those technologies allows to interchange the workforce, like we know about modern techniques that doesn't need drivers. And also in Ukraine, for example, we have such examples now and we use them. And so it allows to solve another problem that, for example, EU and also Ukraine now are facing on, like lack of workforce in agriculture. But it also could be very beneficial even for countries with growing populations, because it allows to make those operations less costly, less expensive, and so making food, finally making food more affordable for all. So sure, precision agriculture is a huge technology allowing to boost agricultural productivity, and even in the face of growing number of population, to allow to satisfy these needs for food. Just some benefits of precision agriculture. So reduce use of like chemicals, yes, like pesticides, for example, to improve the herbicide efficiency, to optimize fertilizer use. It also finally impacts the economics of agriculture. And sure, to decline carbon footprint from agriculture. That is also important, as we talked about contribution of agriculture to climate change, and then back, yes, results of climate change to agriculture. At the same time, we can sometimes we can hear that, okay, that's so much costly to introduce new technologies, and I will do in a conventional way, and because I don't have funds, because and so sometimes we can even hear that such policy are killing agriculture, yes, are killing farmers. But at the same time, I should mention that there are lots of opportunities of sustainable development movement in agriculture, business opportunities. Just look at those numbers of or tendencies of development of organic farming, carbon farming, bioeconomy, and so on. Just for each case, we can see that there are strong growth of those markets. So making food organic in an organic way will allow farmers to get more income, to get more price, and to improve their wealth. Making food with less carbon dioxide emissions will allow farmers to get higher prices. Maybe it's not for all areas, but if we talk about export streams, for example, it really works because last research shows that almost 90% and even more in some other like sources we can find that even more than 90% of European consumers, and just let me to remind that they are going to the importing food. So European consumers are ready to pay more for environmentally friendly like products, services, and so on. So this is the clear signal that those markets will grow in the future, and that being sustainable means having more income. Just let's look into some such opportunities. So organic farming, uh, it is projected to increase to $512 billion by 2033, just in next 7 years. And the annual growth of this market is very high, 12%. So this is the very attractive area of agricultural activities. Also, I should mention that there are some debates about like role of agricultural farming and its ability to satisfy food needs for global population, and there are different thoughts. Some researchers say that it's not possible only following organic farming or only like having organic farming to satisfy all needs for global population in food. Maybe they are right because sure we can't get so much yields as in organic farming as when we use fertilizers and agricultural chemicals. But at the same time, like in case with India initiative, even having some areas of such organic farming will help our land to restore. And so it means that we increase our potential to produce food in the future. Another initiative like carbon farming, just from like fashionable words to real actions that allow people to get more income and be more wealthy. Just let's look at the market value. It's not so fast growing like organic agriculture, but at the same time, it's also um, it's also interesting and growing, and you should think about this in the future. Another like examples what is going now here, agri-tech startups. I mentioned today about vertical farming. It's also one of alternative to solve the problem of unavailable lands, for example. Sure, it's not enough, but at the same time, some part of food could be created there. But in agri-tech startups, there are different types of use of biological solutions, like uh, introducing or maybe mixing different crops, introducing some biological agents, and having better results. This also related, such startup also employ precision agriculture and modern technologies like drones to create more profits. And sure, farm management, providing knowledge. Technologies on their own are not enough. You need to have knowledge, or maybe our farmers and agricultural operators need to have knowledge how to use these technologies, how to employ them systematically to get comprehensive
Sorry to
results.
interrupt, ma'am.
And
May I request you to kindly conclude as second speaker is also waiting. We have
okay, just
there are
one,
also
2 minutes.
few queries of participants so that you can answer.
Okay, so in my presentation, you see that I also prepared some words about your initiative, national initiative on sustainability and overall development, like Viksit Bharat. And the main idea is that I would like to say that it's also aligned with sustainability. It's like a national path, but influenced, impacted by sustainability vision. And so finally, India is going to get high results in sustainability achievement and also wealth increase. So finally, what can we say about sustainable development goals? They are interconnected and agriculture is at the core. Why at the core? Because if you talk only about agriculture, it's about fourth part of global population employed. It means the fourth part of global population get income from agriculture and are feeding from agriculture, are fed from agriculture. If we look at a broader like area, agri-food systems, almost 40% of global population are employed in the Greek food system. So this makes agriculture really central in sustainability movement. And as I mentioned today, every goal is impacted by agriculture. If we talk about land, if we talk about climate change, if we talk about life on water, if we talk about hunger, education, local communities, and so on. Sustainability is not only like a human idea about environmental issues or maybe social justice. It's a really good economic opportunity, as organic market trends and carbon farming trends show. So let's think about this in this way. It's a good economic opportunity, also related with environmental and social results. And sure, partnerships are essential. Uh, Developed countries are responsible for some impacts on climate change, and that's why they are asked to help developing countries to develop their technologies, to share knowledge, maybe to support with funds, so the overall global system will move to the achievement of these sustainable development goals. And so, just my last thought. So, when we talk about agriculture of the future, how it will look like? What do you think about this? And that's clear, that will be smart. We see it now, we use those digital technologies, we see an example of their application in agriculture. Sure, it will be green, because no way, just no way. We need to restore our land, and lots of initiative in different countries approve this, that such organic farming initiatives or free chemicals initiatives are beneficial. This should be inclusive, so women should have the same rights as men, just to make this world more fair. And sure, it should be resilient for climate changes and other maybe crises, maybe some conflicts. But my answer is the agriculture of the future is smart, green, inclusive, digital, and resilient in one case. So this is all about next agriculture, and this is the way to achieve the global sustainability. So on this, I will stop my speech. Thank you for your attention. Thank you that I used more time than it was scheduled. Maybe just let me to check the chat. Post the queries in chat box. How does Ukraine's large-scale mechanized farming system differ from smallholder farming systems in developing countries like India? Ukraine has a bipolar. I mentioned it, or I named it in this way. We have high large-scale enterprises, but at the same time, half of lands are operated by small farmers. I should say that almost every household, every urban, rural, doesn't matter, have their gardens, and they produce there some products, some food for their families. Like in every family, people produce potato, people produce fruits, people produce berries, like carrots, tomatoes, cucumbers, and so on. That food that they consume. Lots of people then sell it. Sure, it's like shadow on informal market, but it's that we have. So I can't say that we have only large scale mechanized farming system. We have half of land operated by small farmers. What's the most interesting about honey? Ukraine exports honey a lot, but we have only small farmers in this area. Only small farmers produce honey. There are no big enterprises. So it's just like an example for you to explain this differentiation. What lessons can India learn from Ukraine's soil management strategies? And we know that Ukraine is the largest producer of wheat and maize. Really, I should say that our soil management strategies are not good. You can't learn a lot from that. You just can learn how not to, how, what shouldn't be done, maybe. But as I mentioned, we try to revise our strategies now. We try to promote like green manure strategies. We try to promote, just let me say that we almost don't have like animal-based animal farming, and that's why we don't have manure. Most fertilizers are chemical origin, and sure it's not healthy for soil, and sure it's not enough. We need to combine manure with chemicals, and that's why I say that there are nothing to learn from Ukraine, just only how not to do, what shouldn't be done. But at the same time, we are going to promote small farmers. We are going to promote organic farming. Uh, so this is our like future vision of our future soil management strategies. As of now, we fix the deterioration of land quality in Ukraine. If previously it was high quality Chernozems, they are called in this way, black soils, but now the share of these black soils is declining year by year, and the quality of even those black soils is also worsening. How has the war affected farming practices and productivity of Ukraine? How it was managed during those days? Affected significantly, sure, farming practices and productivity. But as I mentioned, productivity is increasing due to fertilizers, due to improvements in fertilizers management, first of all, due to improvements in water management, in overall management even. But we face some challenges. This is lack of workforce, because lots of men are at the war. And that's why we have cases where women are driving tractors, combines, and so on. And as I mentioned, we have lots of cases where we apply autonomous technique now in Ukraine in agriculture. And sure, now it's managed difficult. It's difficult to manage it now, specifically in areas affected by the war, because land is contaminated. It's dangerous, and sure, because we don't know what could happen. Even if you, for example, will sow, yes, like some areas that were cultivated before. So you start your spring season and like had some had some crops sown, but at the same time there are no guarantees that you will be able to get this harvest. So sure, it's like a challenge now. And so and also it's very dangerous to conduct such agricultural operations. Very illustrative and informative session. Thank you. What programs and initiatives are being implemented by Ukraine to promote organic and natural farming? We have a huge policy on organic farming, and we are maybe among the first countries introducing it in a large scale. There are lots of certified agencies. There are lots of consulting. That just maybe starting from this way. There are no specific subsidies from the government, but this movement was driven by demand from European countries in organic food. So lots of organic is exported, and that's why our producers are interested in having higher prices and having higher incomes, and this moves this organic farming movement. What is the scope of agriculture in Ukraine as compared to India? A bit unclear question compared to India. I should say that the main products that we produce are grains and legumes. Grains is the main result of our agriculture, and our problem is that we don't process it by our own. And our next strategy in agricultural sector is to support food processing. I mean raw agricultural products processing and then exporting ready food. As of now, we have lots of innovations in this sector. I mean, in the sector of food processing, like healthy foods. I mean, healthy juice, healthy how to name it, some fast food, but made in a healthy way, from grains, from raisins, and it's very popular in European countries, and so it's also exported. What is the scope? Thank you. Excellent session. Thank you for your attention. Yes, thank you for your attention too. I was happy to be with you, and I would like to join you again. Thank you. Have a good time. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
So much, ma'am, for such an informative session. Thank you so much for the
Thank you.
detailed deliberation. So moving forward to the technical session 2. So I would like to welcome and introduce our second speaker, Dr. Pooja Tamboli. Dr. Pooja Tamboli is an ARS scientist, senior scale in the plant animal relationship division at ICAR, Indian Grassland and Food Research Institute, Jhansi, Uttar Pradesh. She holds a graduation degree, BSc Veterinary Science and Animal Husbandry degree from the College of Veterinary Science and Animal Husbandry, Durg, and completed her master's in veterinary science and PhD in livestock production and also from Animal Husbandry Department from ICR National Dairy Research Institute NDRI Karnal with outstanding academic performance. Since joining ICR IGFRI in 2020, Dr. Tamboli has been actively engaged in research, teaching, and extension activity related to livestock production and management. Her areas of expertise include animal behavior, breed conservation and improvement, livestock health and housing management, feeding strategy, grazing behavior, and production and reproduction management of livestock species. She has served as PI and co-PI in several research projects focusing on small ruminants, buffaloes, and sustainable livestock production system. Dr. Tamboli has published 18 research papers and 3 books and more than 12 book chapters. Now, I would like to request to ma'am to kindly deliver her lecture for technical session 2.
Thank you.
Dr. Pooja.
Um, Now I'm going to share. Am I audible? Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, ma'am, you are
Audible.
audible. Yes, ma'am. Yes.
My sliding slides over?
Yes, ma'am, on welcome slide.
Okay, okay. Okay, so very good evening to all of you. Now I'm going to.
Kindly use bilingual language.
What, sir?
Bilingual, ma'am, bilingual Hindi and English, because
Hindi and
few
English
participants,
both,
yes,
both.
few
Okay.
participants from Hindi background.
Okay. So today I'm going to
We also
present
request to please conclude within 30
about
minutes because we
principles
have-
and practices for sustainable livestock production. So objectives are to understand the concept of livestock management, explain about housing, feeding, breeding, and healthcare practices, and also different factors which affect livestock productivity, and how to adopt scientific management practices for profitable livestock farmings. So these are the objectives which will be covered. So what is livestock? Livestock क्या है? Livestock जो है वो domesticated animals हैं which are maintained by human for their economic and agricultural purposes. They contribute to farming systems by providing drought power, जिसको agriculture में हम लोग यूज करते हैं, valuable products प्रोड्यूस करते हैं like milk, meat, egg, wool, leather and fur. तो जो हमें हमारे पर्पस को जो सॉल्व करते हैं, जो हमें डिफरेंट प्रोडक्ट्स अवेलेबल कराते हैं और साथ ही साथ हम उनको एज अ ड्राउट पर्पस यूज करते हैं, तो ये इनको हम बोलते हैं लाइव स्टॉक, हिंदी में बोलते हैं पशुधन। तो इसमें आते हैं जैसे कैटल, बफेलो, शीप, गोट, पिग, पोल्ट्री। और इनसे हमको क्या क्या प्रोडक्ट्स मिलता है? मिल्क, मीट, पोल्ट्री से एग, उल, शीप से मैन्योर मिलता है, ड्राउट पावर जिसे हम एग्रीकल्चर ऑपरेशन में इनको हम यूज कर सकते हैं। तो बेसिकली लाइव स्टॉक मैनेजमेंट क्या है? जो लाइव स्टॉक मैनेजमेंट है वो ये है कि साइंटिफिक केयर एंड मैनेजमेंट ऑफ फार्म एनिमल्स टू अचीव ऑप्टिमम प्रोडक्शन एज वेल एज टू एनहांस प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी ऑफ द फार्म। तो हमको क्या है कि हमको प्रोडक्शन मिले और प्रॉफिटेबल भी हो, तो इन दोनों पर्पस के साथ हम साइंटिफिक मैनेजमेंट प्रैक्टिसेस की ओर आगे बढ़ते हैं। तो मेन हमारा ऑब्जेक्टिव ये है कि हमको अपने एनिमल की प्रोडक्टिविटी बढ़ानी है, उनका अच्छा हेल्थ और वेलफेयर का ध्यान रखना है, साथ ही साथ उनका रिप्रोडक्टिव एफिशिएंसी भी इनहांस करनी है, और जिससे कि हमारा जो लाइव स्टॉक प्रोडक्शन होगा वो सस्टेनेबल होगा और साथ ही साथ प्रॉफिटेबल होगा। तो हमारे कंट्री में लाइव स्टॉक की क्या इंपॉर्टेंस है? लाइव स्टॉक जो है वो हमारे एग्रीकल्चर ग्रॉस डोमेस्टिक प्रोडक्ट में भी सिग्निफिकेंटली कंट्रीब्यूट करता है in terms of milk, meat, egg, wool and manure. Also provide employment and livelihood, act as insurance against crop failure and support nutritional security. कभी कभी रेनफॉल इरेगुलर होता है, ड्राउट आते हैं, मतलब कई प्रकार की नेचुरल कैलेमिटीज होती हैं। उस कंडीशन में हमारे एग्रीकल्चर अगर फेल हो जाए तो हमारा लाइव स्टॉक ही है जो हमें कंटिन्यूअस सोर्स ऑफ इनकम प्रोवाइड करता है। इसीलिए एग्रीकल्चर के साथ साथ लाइव स्टॉक का मतलब पालन करना बहुत जरूरी है। और साथ ही साथ ये जैसे कि हमने बताया कि ये जीडीपी में कंट्रीब्यूट करता है, एग्रीकल्चर का 31% कंट्रीब्यूट करता है और नेशनल जीडीपी का ये 5.5% कंट्रीब्यूट करता है। और जब हम ये देखें कि ये एक्सपोर्ट में कितना कंट्रीब्यूट किया 2024-25 में, तो 66,249 करोड़ लाइव स्टॉक ने एक्सपोर्ट में कंट्रीब्यूट किया। और जब हम ये देखते हैं कि लाइव स्टॉक, एग्रीकल्चर, फॉरेस्ट्री और फिशिंग सभी हमारे नेशनल जीडीपी का कितना कंट्रीब्यूट करता है, तो वो है 17%। तो इस तरह से हमारा लाइव स्टॉक इंपॉर्टेंट है। जिसे हमें एग्रीकल्चर के साथ 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 में लेके चलना चाहिए। अब 19th लाइव स्टॉक सेंसस 2019 के अकॉर्डिंग in our country there are 193 cattle population, 109 million buffalo population, 74.26 million sheep, and around 149 million goat population are there in our country. Total livestock population in our country is 536 million. अब हम देखते हैं कि हमारे कंट्री में कैटल्स की कौन कौन सी ब्रीड्स हैं। तो वैसे तो और भी है, हमने मेन ब्रीड्स एनलिस्ट कर रखा है। तो काउ ब्रीड्स में जो दो प्रकार से हम इनको डिवाइड कर सकते हैं। एक तो जेबू ब्रीड है और दूसरा एग्जॉटिक ब्रीड है। तो जेबू ब्रीड में है, तीन प्रकार से हम बांटते हैं इनको, मिल्च, ड्राउट और डुअल पर्पस। मिल्च क्या होता है? जो दूध देते हैं। ड्राउट क्या होता है? जो एग्रीकल्चर में यूज होता है। डुअल क्या होता है? दोनों तरह की, दूध भी देते हैं और साथ ही साथ हम उनको एग्रीकल्चर ऑपरेशन में भी यूज कर सकते हैं। एक्सोटिक ब्रीड क्या होते हैं? एक्सोटिक में भी दो प्रकार से हैं, एक मिल्क देने वाले और दूसरा मीट देने वाले। तो इसमें जो मिल्च है, इंडिजिनस ब्रीड है, वो हमारे कंट्री में जैसे ज्यादातर हम लोग पालते हैं साहिवाल, रेड सिंधी, गिर और देवनी। तो ये जो है ये मुख्य रूप से मिल्क प्रोड्यूसिंग एनिमल्स हैं। जो एग्रीकल्चर ऑपरेशन में यूज करते हैं उनमें है कुछ ब्रीड, अमृत महल, कंगायाम, हेलिकर, खिल्लारी, नागौर, पुआर एक्सेट्रा। उसी तरह डुअल पर्पस जो कि दोनों में हम लोग यूज कर सकते हैं, जैसे कि हरियाणा है, कांकरेज है, ओंगोल, मेवाती, गौला, लाइक दैट। अब एक्सोटिक ब्रीड में हम देखते हैं तो एक्सोटिक में भी दो प्रकार से हैं, मिल्क प्रोड्यूसिंग और मीट पर्पस। तो जो मिल्क प्रोड्यूसिंग है वो है हॉलिस्टीन फ्रीजियन, ब्राउन स्विस, जर्सी। मीट पर्पस हैरफोर्ड, अंगस, शॉर्ट हॉर्न, ब्रंगस, लाइक दैट। तो ये हमने अलग अलग क्लासीफाई कर रखा। उसी तरह बफेलो का जब हम देखते हैं तो बफेलो में भी चार ग्रुप में बांटा जाता है बफेलो को। एक मुर्रा ग्रुप होता है, गुजरात होता है, उत्तर प्रदेश, एक सेंट्रल इंडिया के बफेलोज हैं, एक साउथ इंडिया के हैं। तो जो मुर्रा ग्रुप है उनमें आते हैं जो कि हरियाणा, पंजाब, न्यू दिल्ली, यहाँ ज्यादातर पाए जाते हैं। मुर्रा है, नीली रावी है और कुंडी, गोदावरी। उसी तरह जो गुजरात ग्रुप है उसमें है सुरती, जाफराबादी, मेहसाना। उत्तर प्रदेश ग्रुप में आएंगे भदावरी, तराई। सेंट्रल इंडिया ग्रुप में है नागपुरी, पंढारपुरी, कालाहांडी। और साउथ इंडिया की ग्रुप है टोडा और साउथ कैनेरा। टोडा तमिलनाडु की, साउथ कैनेरा कर्नाटक की। अब हम देखते हैं मेजर गोट ब्रीड्स ऑफ इंडिया इन डिफरेंट एग्रो क्लाइमेटिक रीजन्स। जब हम गोट ब्रीड को देखते हैं, इनको भी चार प्रकार से बांटा गया है बेस्ड ऑन डिफरेंट एग्रो क्लाइमेटिक रीजन, लाइक टेम्परेट हिमालयन रीजन, नॉर्थ वेस्टर्न रीजन, साउदर्न रीजन और ईस्टर्न रीजन। तो टेम्परेट हिमालयन रीजन कवर्स द एरिया लाइक जम्मू एंड कश्मीर, हिमाचल प्रदेश एंड हिली एरियाज ऑफ उत्तराखंड और उत्तर प्रदेश। इसमें आते हैं गड्डी, चांगथांगी, चेगू। नॉर्थ वेस्टर्न रीजन में है हरियाणा, पंजाब, राजस्थान, गुजरात। इन एरियाज में जो भी पाए जाते हैं उत्तर प्रदेश में, वो है जमुनापरी, मारवाड़ी, झालावाड़ी, बीटल, कच्छी, सिरोही, बारबरी, मेहसाना, सुरती, छाकराना, गोहिलवाड़ी। साउदर्न रीजन की जो बकरियां हैं उसमें आते हैं संगामनेरी, उस्मानाबादी, मालाबारी, कोंकण कन्याल, बेरारी। ईस्टर्न रीजन में जैसे जो उड़ीसा है और जो भी ईस्टर्न स्टेट्स हैं उनमें आते हैं गंजाम, ब्लैक बंगाल गोट। ब्लैक बंगाल गोट सबसे स्मॉलेस्ट बकरी है जो कि बेसिकली मीट पर्पस के लिए पालते हैं और साथ ही साथ इसका स्किन बहुत ही अच्छा होता है। और इसमें जो मतलब मल्टीपल बर्थ, जिसमें एक समय में ज्यादा बच्चे देने की क्षमता बहुत ज्यादा होती है। और इसमें से जो जमुना परी बकरी है ये दूध के लिए, मेनली दूध के लिए जाना जाता है। मीट पर्पस के लिए तो सभी मतलब यूज कर सकते हैं, पर बेसिकली ये मिल्क प्रोड्यूसिंग है। लगभग 2 to 3 kg पर डे इसका मिल्क होता है। अब हम शिप का देखते हैं। शिप को भी एग्रोक्लाइमेटिक रीजन के हिसाब से चार भागों में बांटते हैं। नॉर्थ वेस्ट एरिड एंड सेमी एरिड रीजन, नॉर्दर्न टेम्परेट रीजन्स, साउदर्न रीजन, ईस्टर्न रीजन। सो नॉर्थ वेस्ट एरिड एंड सेमी एरिड रीजन में है चोकला, नाली, मारवाड़ी, मैगरा, जैसलमेरी एक्सेट्रा। और नॉर्थ टेम्परेट रीजन जो ठंडे प्रदेशों में पाए जाते हैं वो है गड्डी, रामपुर बुसर, भाकरवाल, करना, गुरेज, ये कश्मीर और जम्मू कश्मीर वाले एरिया में ये पाए जाते हैं। साउदर्न रीजन में है जैसे डेक्कानी है, नेल्लोर है, बेल्लारी है, हसन, मंडिया, मेचेरी, कोयम्बटूर, नीलगिरी एक्सेट्रा। ईस्टर्न रीजन के ब्रीड्स हैं बलांगीर, गंजाम, बोनपा, गैरोल, सीप। सो इस तरह के हैं। जैसे वहां पे ब्लैक बंगाल बहुत प्रोलिफिक था, जो कि एक समय में बहुत सारे बच्चे देता था, वैसे ही गैरोल है शीप में, जो कि एक समय में इनके भी मल्टीपल बर्थ के चांसेस होते हैं। अब हम, ये तो था एक ओवरव्यू की कौन कौन से प्रकार की ब्रीड्स जो हैं अलग अलग कैट, बफेलो, शीप, गोट में पाए जाते हैं। अब हम लोग देखते हैं कि ये ओवरऑल लाइव स्टॉक को किन किन टर्म्स में हम लोग को मैनेज करना है। तो पहले तो हम देखते हैं हाउसिंग मैनेजमेंट, फिर फीडिंग मैनेजमेंट, ब्रीडिंग मैनेजमेंट, हेल्थ मैनेजमेंट, रिप्रोडक्शन मैनेजमेंट, रिकॉर्ड कीपिंग, वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट। तो इस तरह से हम इनको, हमें ध्यान रखना है। हाउसिंग, सबसे पहले हम देखते हैं हाउसिंग मैनेजमेंट। हाउसिंग का क्या इंपॉर्टेंस है? हाउसिंग का ये इंपॉर्टेंस है कि हमें क्यों एनिमल के लिए हाउस बनाना चाहिए। एक तो उनको एडवर्स क्लाइमेटिक कंडीशन से प्रोटेक्ट करने के लिए, जैसे कभी कभी एक्सट्रीम हॉट है, एक्सट्रीम कोल्ड है, बहुत ज्यादा हैवी रेनफॉल है, उस कंडीशन में हमें आवास की जरूरत पड़ती है, हाउसिंग की जरूरत पड़ती है। साथ ही साथ वी हैव टू प्रोटेक्ट देम फ्रॉम द डिफरेंट डिसीजेस। बेटर फीडिंग एंड वाटरिंग भी अच्छे हाउसिंग से ही पॉसिबल हो सकता है उनको। और साथ ही साथ हाउसिंग अच्छा रखने से हमारा मैनेजमेंट इजी हो जाता है और उससे उनका प्रोडक्टिविटी भी इनहांस होते हैं। आइडियल एनिमल हाउसिंग के कैरेक्टरिस्टिक क्या है? तो एक तो ये एडिक्वेट वेंटिलेशन होता है, उसमें गुड लाइटिंग होती है, फ्लोर क्लीनिंग होती है, वेस्ट डिस्पोजल एंड प्रॉपर ड्रेनेज की फैसिलिटीज होनी चाहिए, सफिशिएंट स्पेस होना चाहिए पर एनिमल, और साथ ही साथ क्लीन वाटर सप्लाई होना चाहिए, इजी क्लीनिंग, सैनिटाइजेशन और डिसइंफेक्शन जो है हाउस में बहुत जरूरी है टू प्रिवेंट डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ इन्फेक्शियस डिसीजेस। अब हम देखते हैं स्पेस रिक्वायरमेंट लाइव स्टॉक का। तो कैटल में लगभग कवर्ड स्पेस, मतलब उनके शेड में कितना चाहिए और बाहर उनके एक्सरसाइज के लिए ओपन स्पेस कितना चाहिए। तो जो कैटल के लिए है वो 3.5 to 4 स्क्वायर मीटर पर एनिमल स्पेस चाहिए, ओपन स्पेस चाहिए 7 to 8 स्क्वायर मीटर पर एनिमल। बफेलो का है 4 to 5 स्क्वायर मीटर पर एनिमल, ओपन स्पेस 8 to 10 स्क्वायर मीटर पर एनिमल। शीप में 0.8 to 1 स्क्वायर मीटर पर एनिमल, 1.5 to 2 स्क्वायर मीटर पर एनिमल इसका ओपन स्पेस है। मतलब जस्ट आपने देखा कि जो कैटल, बफेलो, शीप, गोट का कवर्ड स्पेस है उसके जस्ट डबल हमको ओपन स्पेस देना है टू फैसिलिटेट देम फॉर द एक्सरसाइज, मूवमेंट एंड ऑल दीज थिंग्स। तो बफेलो का क्या है कि बफेलो मोर स्पेस इसलिए चाहिए क्योंकि उनको, उनका एक तो बॉडी साइज लार्ज होता है, दूसरा उनको कूलिंग की आवश्यकता होती है, उनमें हीट स्ट्रेस की प्रॉब्लम ज्यादा होती है, इसलिए उनमें बैलोइंग की भी जरूरत पड़ती है, इसलिए ओवरऑल उनको ज्यादा स्पेस चाहिए। गोट और शिप को हमको लेस फ्लोर एरिया इसलिए लगता है, तो उनका साइज भी छोटा है, साथ ही साथ उनको वेल ड्रेन्ड हाउसिंग भी चाहिए। एडिक्वेट ओपन स्पेस क्या करता है कि उनको एक्सरसाइज के लिए जरूरी है, उससे उनका स्ट्रेस कम होता है, उनका वेलफेयर अच्छा होता है और उनको प्रोडक्टिविटी भी इनहांस होगा। स्पेस रिक्वायरमेंट में वेरी स्लाइटली डिपेंडिंग ऑन ब्रीड। ब्रीड के हिसाब से कि कौन कौन से, जैसे हमने भी बताया कि कई प्रकार के ब्रीड हैं। ब्रीड बड़े साइज वाले होते हैं, ब्लैक बंगाल छोटे साइज की ब्रीड है, जमुनापरी बड़ी साइज की ब्रीड है, तो उनको ज्यादा स्पेस चाहिए। तो ब्रीड के हिसाब से वेरी करेगा, एज के हिसाब से भी वेरी करेगा। जो काफ हैं, जो छोटे बछड़े हैं, उनको कम स्पेस चाहिए, बड़े जानवर को ज्यादा चाहिए। फिजियोलॉजिकल स्टेटस, लैक्टेटिंग को ज्यादा, लैक्टेटिंग को अलग चाहिए, प्रेग्नेंट को अलग चाहिए। और हाउसिंग सिस्टम, किस प्रकार का हाउसिंग सिस्टम है, इंटेंसिव है, एक्सटेंसिव है, सेमी इंटेंसिव है, तो ये सारे फैक्टर्स हैं जो कि ये हाउसिंग को इन्फ्लुएंस करते हैं, स्पेस रिक्वायरमेंट को। तो अभी हम देखते हैं कि कितने प्रकार के हाउसिंग होते हैं। हाउसिंग तीन प्रकार के होते हैं, एक एक्सटेंसिव लाइव स्टॉक सिस्टम, सेकेंड सेमी इंटेंसिव लाइव स्टॉक सिस्टम एंड थर्ड इज इंटेंसिव हाउसिंग। एक्सटेंसिव क्या होता है? एनिमल ग्रेस फ्रीली ऑन नेचुरल पास्चर and rangeland with minimal human interventions and low input. Means when we allow the animal for grazing in the pasture, that is the extensive production system. Semi-intensive housing, what is semi-intensive? Semi-intensive is combination of grazing plus stall feeding, in which animal is spend a part of the day in grazing and then also we provide them some feed in sheds or pen. Generally during the night time we house the animal in the shed and provide them supplementary feed along with the grazing. That is the semi-intensive. Intensive production system. What is intensive? Intensive system in which animals are completely confined in sheds, barns or pens and all feed and water health care are provided by the farmers. मतलब ये हुआ कि हमको completely intensive system में animals को शेड में रखना है। ये जनरली क्या होता है कि when we go for the commercial livestock farming, in that conditions we should follow the intensive livestock production system in which all the controls are in the hand of animal owner. No grazing is allowed, that is zero grazing system. This is the comparison between extensive, semi-intensive and intensive system. Grazing dependence in extensive high, semi-intensive moderate and in intensive none. Likewise, housing requirement in case of extensive there is minimal housing requirement because most of means animals are only allowed for the grazing. There are no supplementary feeding. In case of semi-intensive, combination of both grazing plus supplementary feeding in the shed. And in intensive, housing requirement is high because no grazing is, that is zero grazing allowed under the intensive system of housing. Capital investment, when we go for the capital investment in extensive system, low capital investment because most of the time animals go for the grazing, so there is the less expenses on feeding, also in housing. Moderate, in case of semi-intensive, capital requirement moderate and in intensive it is the costly. Labor requirement in extensive system low, semi-intensive moderate and in intensive high. Feed cost भी क्या होगा कि grazing animals तो most of the requirements are fulfilled from the grazing of pastures. So feed cost भी क्या होगा, extensive में कम होगा, semi intensive में moderate होगा और intensive में high होगा. प्रोडक्टिविटी जब हम देखते हैं तो प्रोडक्टिविटी इंटेंसिव सिस्टम में ज्यादा होता है क्योंकि उसमें क्या होता है कि हम एनिमल को प्रॉपर उनका फीडिंग शेड्यूल डिजाइन करते हैं, बैलेंस्ड राशन उनको फीड करते हैं, तो उससे क्या होता है उनका हेल्थ मॉनिटरिंग भी ज्यादा ध्यान से देखते हैं, तो उससे उनका प्रोडक्टिविटी इन्हांसमेंट भी ज्यादा होता है. डिसीज कंट्रोल जो है वो इंटेंसिव सिस्टम में बहुत इजी है क्योंकि हर एक एनिमल को मॉनिटर कर पाना शेड के अंदर बहुत आसान है एज कंपेयर टू द ग्रेजिंग सिस्टम. लैंड रिक्वायरमेंट जब हम देखते हैं तो एक्सटेंसिव सिस्टम में ज्यादा होगा क्योंकि उनको पास्चर की भी जरूरत पड़ रही है जबकि इंटेंसिव में कम हो रहा है. रिकॉर्ड कीपिंग इंटेंसिव सिस्टम में ही आप रिकॉर्ड कीपिंग कर सकते हो कि कितना फीड उनको हम दे रहे हैं और कौन कौन से एनिमल को डिसीज हुई है, कब कब किसका ब्रीडिंग कराना है. जबकि क्या होगा कि एक्सटेंसिव सिस्टम में इनडिस्क्रिमिनेट ब्रीडिंग होगा तो ब्रीडिंग रिकॉर्ड भी हम मेंटेन नहीं कर पाएंगे, तो रिकॉर्ड कीपिंग भी इंटेंसिव सिस्टम में मोर इजी है. सुटेबल फॉर कमर्शियल फार्मिंग, जैसे हमने बताया कि कमर्शियल फार्मिंग में इंटेंसिव सिस्टम ऑफ लाइव स्टॉक इज मोर सुटेबल. तो अब हम विंटर मैनेजमेंट में जाते हैं तो अलग क्या होता है कि जैसे विंटर मैनेजमेंट होगा तो हमको क्या करना है, ध्यान रखना है कि एनिमल को ओपन बार्न में मतलब खुले वाले जगह पे रियर नहीं करना है, कर्टन्स का यूज करना है जब बहुत ज्यादा ठंडी पड़े. वाटर ड्रेनेज की सुविधा होनी चाहिए, सनलाइट की एक्सेस भी देनी पड़ेगी हमको, एनिमल को वार्म रखने के लिए हीटर की भी व्यवस्था करनी पड़ेगी, एक्स्ट्रा कंसंट्रेट करना पड़ेगा टू मेंटेन एनर्जी रिक्वायरमेंट. क्यों? क्योंकि उनको अपने टेम्परेचर मेंटेन करने के लिए हीट एक्सपेंडिचर करने पड़ते हैं. जब हीट एक्सपेंडिचर होगा तो उनको एनर्जी की कमी पड़ेगी, इसीलिए हमको क्या करना है, वी शुड प्रोवाइड द कंसंट्रेट इन ऑर्डर टू मेंटेन द एनर्जी लेवल ऑफ द एनिमल्स. अब जब हम देखते हैं फीडिंग मैनेजमेंट की ओर, तो सबसे पहले तो अभी आपने देखा कि हाउसिंग मैनेजमेंट में क्या करना है। दूसरा क्या होता है, जैसे जितना इनका प्रोडक्शन कॉस्ट होता है, जितना इनपुट कॉस्ट होता है एनिमल्स के लिए, उसमें लगभग 60 to 70% कॉस्ट जो है वो अकेला फीड का होता है। मतलब फीड में हमारा एक्सपेंसेस सबसे ज्यादा है। तो हमें ये देखना है कि जितना कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव हो, लो कॉस्ट फॉर्मुलेशन ही करना चाहिए फीड का, जिससे कि हमारा इनपुट कॉस्ट जो है वो ज्यादा ना बढ़े। इसमें क्या होता है, मेन ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या है, टू मीट न्यूट्रिएंट रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ एनिमल्स, टू इम्प्रूव ग्रोथ एंड प्रोडक्शन, टू मेंटेन हेल्थ एंड रिप्रोडक्शन ऑफ एनिमल्स, we should focus on the feeding management of animals. What are the nutrients required by the livestock? That is water, carbohydrate, proteins, fat, minerals, and vitamins. So these are the different type of nutrients which are required by the livestock, like humans also. So how many? There are three types of feed which we offer to the animals, like concentrate, roughage, and unconventional feed. So concentrate में क्या क्या आएगा? Concentrate में there are two parts: plant sources and animal sources. Under plant sources, we have to provide energy rich source, protein rich source. Under the energy rich source, there are grains and seed which is provided by the maize, barley, oats, sorghum. Milling byproducts like wheat bran, rice polish, molasses, roots and tubers like cassava, sweet potato. So these are the energy rich source of fodder which are provided to the animals. Protein rich sources are oil seed cake, meals, groundnut cake, soybean meal, mustard cake, cotton seed cake. Milling byproducts like rice bran. Animal sources are animal tissue sources like meat meal, blood meal, bone meal. Marine sources like fish meal, fish solubles. So these are the different type of concentrates which are provided to the animals. Now roughage क्या होता है, जो कि fodder, जो green fodder और जो dry fodder जो हम animals को देते हैं, these are called roughages. तो इसमें है dry roughage, green roughage, silage, grasses, ट्री लीव्स. ड्राई रफेज के अंतर्गत आते हैं हे, स्ट्रॉ, स्टोवर, हस्क एंड अदर क्रॉप रेसिड्यूज, जो कि लेफ्ट ओवर पार्ट होता है जब हम किसी भी ग्रेन को वो करते हैं, एक्सट्रैक्ट करते हैं. तो ग्रीन रफेज क्या होता है, इसमें लेग्यूमिनस आते हैं जो कि प्रोटीन रिच होता है. नॉन लेग्यूमिनस होते हैं जैसे मेज, सोरघम, ओट. लेग्यूमिनस फॉर्डर में क्या क्या आते हैं, बरसीम, ल्यूसन, काउपी. तो इस तरह से ग्रीन रफेज हुआ. साइलेज, हम साइलेज किसका किसका बना सकते हैं, जो कार्बोहाइड्रेट रिच हो. तो जो एनर्जी रिच फॉडर है उसका हम साइलेज बनाते हैं. क्यों साइलेज ऐसा बनाते हैं, साइलेज कितने लोग जानते हैं साइलेज क्या होता है? साइलेज के बारे में किसी को आइडिया है? साइलेज देखिए, साइलेज क्या होता है, हमको किसी भी फॉडर को जो कि कार्बोहाइड्रेट रिच होता है उसको वी शुड प्रिजर्व मेंटेनिंग 65% ऑफ मॉइस्चर एंड पीएच अराउंड 3.5 to 4 pH. इसमें क्या होता है कि हमको कार्बोहाइड्रेट रिच फॉडर इसलिए प्रीफर करना होता है क्योंकि इसमें क्या होता है कि जो लैक्टिक एसिड बैक्टीरिया होता है वो फर्मेंट करके लैक्टिक एसिड बनाता है, और वही लैक्टिक एसिड साइलेज को लॉन्ग टाइम तक प्रिजर्व करने में हेल्प करता है. इसीलिए हम लोग साइलेज के लिए मेज, सोरघम, ओट ऐसे फॉडर का यूज करते हैं. ग्रासेस में क्या क्या आते हैं, गिनी ग्रास, नेपियर ग्रास, पैराग्रास. ट्री लीव्स में क्या आएंगे, जैसे सुबबुल है, नीम लीव्स है, पीपल है. तो ऐसे जो होते हैं इनको हम लोग खिलाते हैं एनिमल को. अब अनकन्वेंशनल फीड क्या होते हैं, अनकन्वेंशनल फीड में भी 3 पार्ट हुए: प्रोटीन सोर्सेस, एनर्जी सोर्सेस, मिसलेनियस. तो प्रोटीन में हम लोग एजोला खिला सकते हैं, आजकल एजोला भी बहुत उसमें चल रहा है. और फिर एनर्जी सोर्सेस में फ्रूट वेस्ट है, वेजिटेबल वेस्ट है, वो हम दे सकते हैं. जो गैर परंपरागत है उसको कहते हैं अनकन्वेंशनल. मिसलेनियस क्या होता है, जो कि डिस्टिलर्स ड्राइड ग्रेन एंड सॉल्युबल, डीडीजीएस जिसको बोलते हैं, डिस्टिलरी बाई प्रोडक्ट है, ब्रीवरी वेस्ट है, जो अल्कोहल इंडस्ट्री से जो मिलता है. तो वो सारी चीजें भी हम जो उनके बाई प्रोडक्ट्स होते हैं वो एनिमल्स को खिला सकते हैं. तो इस तरह से हमने देखा कि कौन कौन से ऐसे फीड है जो एनिमल्स को खिलाई जा सकती है. अब हम देखते हैं थंब रूल क्या है। थंब रूल जो एनिमल्स को खिलाते हैं उसमें कैसे करना है, उनका जो ड्राई मैटर इनटेक है वो लगभग 2.5 to 3% ऑफ बॉडी वेट उनको हमको देना होता है ड्राई मैटर बेसिस पे। अगर जानवर 400 किलो का है तो हमको लगभग 10 से 12 किलो उसको ड्राई मैटर चाहिए। उसमें भी लगभग 2/3 चाहिए रफेज और 1/3 चाहिए कंसंट्रेट, जिसको दाना भी बोलते हैं। अभी हमने बताया कि कंसंट्रेट में क्या क्या आता है, मेज है, ओट है, जो कुछ भी वहां पे जो भी ग्रेन है। रफेज में जो भी फॉडर्स हैं वो आते हैं। अब इसमें लगभग 12 केजी में 6 से 8 किलो हमको रफेज देना है और 3 से 4 किलो हमको दाना देना है। अब इसमें भी रफेज में भी ग्रीन कितनी देनी है और ड्राई कितनी देनी है, तो इसका लगभग 1/3 मतलब 2 से 2.7 किलो के लगभग ग्रीन और 4 से 5 किलो के लगभग ड्राई देना है। लेकिन अगर हमारा चारा लेग्यूम है उस कंडीशन में हमको 1/4 ग्रीन कर देना है और 3/4 ड्राई कर देना। क्यों? क्योंकि जो लेग्यूम होता है ना वो प्रोटीन होता है। जब एनिमल ज्यादा खाएगा तो क्या होगा, ब्लॉट की समस्या आएगी। ब्लॉट क्या होता है, गैस बनने लगेगी। जब एनिमल को एसिडिटी होगा, गैस बनने लगेगा, तो इसलिए उसका मात्रा हम लोग थोड़ा सा कम करते हैं और फिर ड्राई का मात्रा बढ़ा देते हैं। इसीलिए ज्यादा हरा चारा आप लोगों ने देखा होगा, जब रैनी सीजन होती है एनिमल्स ज्यादा ग्रेज कर लेते हैं कार्बोहाइड्रेट, तो उनको ज्यादातर केसेस में ब्लॉटिंग और उसकी एसिडिटी की समस्या होती है। तो इसलिए हमको थोड़ा सा ये राशन को बैलेंस करके खिलाना चाहिए। अब जैसे थंब रूल क्या है, मोटा मोटा जब हम देखते हैं मेंटेनेंस राशन, जानवर को सिंपल मेंटेन करने के लिए हमको क्या क्या कितना कितना देना है। स्ट्रॉ मान भूसा कितना देना है, अगर इंडिजिनस कैटल है, जेबू कैटल जिसको बोलते हैं, उनको 4 किलो भूसा। क्रॉस ब्रेड जैसे जर्सी क्रॉस है, HF क्रॉस है, उसको 4 to 6 kg, और बफेलो है उसको 4 to 6 kg देना है। कंसंट्रेट विथ लिटिल अमाउंट ऑफ ग्रीन हमको देना है जेबू को 1 to 1.25 kg। क्रॉस ब्रेड ऑब्लिक प्योर ब्रेड को हमको देना है 2 kg और बफेलो को भी लगभग 2 kg देना है। जेस्टेशन, जेस्टेशन क्या होता है, प्रेगनेंसी। when the animals are pregnant then concentrate will be 1.25 kg apart from maintenance। जितना हम मेंटेनेंस के लिए दे रहे हैं उसके अलावा उसको कंसंट्रेट देना है 1.25 kg, क्रॉस ब्रेड को देना है 1.75 kg और बफेलो को देना है 1.75 kg अलॉन्ग विद द मेंटेनेंस राशन। उसके ऊपर इतना देना है। अब कंसंट्रेट क्या है, काविंग से जस्ट पहले मतलब 1-1.5 महीना पहले और मात्रा बढ़ा देनी है कंसंट्रेट की। उसमें जेबू को देना है मतलब इंडियन कैटल को देना है 2 किलो, क्रॉस ब्रेड को 4 किलो, बफेलो को भी 4 किलो। अब हमको दूध वाले जानवर को जब जब एनिमल लैक्टेटिंग होता है तब हमको कंसंट्रेट कितनी देनी है, नॉर्मली जितना हम मेंटेनेंस राशन में कंसंट्रेट दे रहे हैं उसके अलावा, जैसे हमने कितना कंसंट्रेट दिया, 1% ऑफ बॉडी वेट, मतलब मान लो 300 किलो का जानवर है उसको हमको कंसंट्रेट कितना देना है, 1% ऑफ बॉडी वेट, 3 किलो का कंसंट्रेट हम उनको दे रहे हैं। उसके अलावा अगर उसका जानवर 2.5 kg मतलब 1 kg एक्स्ट्रा देना है फॉर एवरी 2.5 kg मिल्क, मतलब 2.5 kg मतलब अगर वो 2.5 kg मिल्क दे रहा है तो उसको 1 kg एक्स्ट्रा देना है, मतलब उसको 4 किलो देना है। ठीक है, अगर 5 किलो है उनका तो उनको कितना फिर कंसंट्रेट देना है, फिर उसके लिए फिर 2 बढ़ जाएगा तो मतलब 5 किलो देना है। ऐसे ही हमको जेबू के लिए करना है। सेम क्रॉस ब्रेड के लिए फॉर एवरी एंड बफेलो एवरी 2 kg के लिए 1 kg हमको कंसंट्रेट एक्स्ट्रा बढ़ाते जाना है। इस तरह से हमको क्या है, अपने राशन को बैलेंस करके जब हम जानवरों को खिलाते हैं उससे क्या होगा, उनका प्रोडक्शन मेंटेन रहेगा और हमारा एनिमल का हेल्थ और वेलफेयर भी मेंटेन होगा। तो ये फीडिंग जो है साइंटिफिक फीडिंग सिस्टम हमें हमेशा फॉलो करना चाहिए। अब देखते हैं कि व्हाट इज द बैलेंस राशन, द राशन विच सप्लाई न्यूट्रिएंट्स इन प्रॉपर अमाउंट, दैट इज द बैलेंस राशन। बैलेंस राशन का एडवांटेज क्या है, इट इंप्रूव्स प्रोडक्टिविटी, enhance reproductive potential, enhance immunity level and also reduces the feeding cost। Balanced ration में क्या होना चाहिए, it should be given based on the body weight, physiological stages and production of animals। Ad libitum potable water should be there, mineral mixture at the rate of 2% of body weight, salt at the rate of 1% of body weight. अच्छा, हमने ये देखा जो ये है एनर्जी सोर्स है, एनर्जी सोर्स में जैसे मेज है, ओट है, बार्ले है, इसको हमको लगभग 30 to 35% देना चाहिए कंसंट्रेट में बनाने का तरीका। और उसी तरह जैसे केक है, केक में जैसे मस्टर्ड केक है, सोयाबीन केक है, उसको भी लगभग 35% लगभग देना चाहिए। और लगभग इतना ही 30% के लगभग हमको ब्रांड देना चाहिए, राइस ब्रांड हो गया, व्हीट ब्रांड हो गया, और 2% मिनरल मिक्सचर और 1% सॉल्ट, इतना करके हमको कंसंट्रेट बनाना चाहिए। और उसको फिर अगर घर में हमको मतलब प्रिपेयर करना, तो ऐसा वो कंसंट्रेट प्रिपेयर कर सकता है। फिर बेस्ड ऑन द बॉडी वेट, कोई एनिमल 300 kg का है, उसको 3 किलो दो, एक्स्ट्रा जितना मिल्क प्रोडक्शन हो रहा है उसके अकॉर्डिंग फिर कंसंट्रेट बढ़ाते जाओ। नाउ द कंसेप्ट ऑफ हेल्थ मैनेजमेंट, अब हम हेल्थ मैनेजमेंट की ओर आते हैं। हेल्थ मैनेजमेंट क्या होता है? इसका WHO के डेफिनेशन के हिसाब से इट इज द कंप्लीट फिजिकल, मेंटल एंड सोशल वेलबींग एंड नॉट मेयरली द एब्सेंस ऑफ डिजीज और इन्फॉर्मिटी। ऐसा नहीं है कि केवल डिसीज नहीं है इसका मतलब हम बोलेंगे कि वो हेल्दी है, उसमें क्या है, फिजिकली, मेंटली और सोशली वो वेलबींग होना चाहिए, तभी हम गुड हेल्थ बोल सकते हैं। और क्या है इसमें, अगर ये जो हेल्थ है, एनिमल अगर हेल्दी होगा, देयर इज एब्सेंस ऑफ डिसीज, then what will happen, there will be enhancement of productivity, reproduction performance as well as welfare of animals. It directly leads to the sustainable livestock production. So ये है हमारा concept. Now the objective of livestock health management, it reduces morbidity and mortality. Means what happens when the animals suffer from the disease, then what happens, the production potential decreases, mortality इनहांस हो जाता है। जब हम अच्छा हेल्थ मैनेज करेंगे तो मोर्टलिटी भी कम होगी। और मॉर्बिडिटी, मॉर्बिडिटी क्या होता है, प्रोडक्शन जो कम होता है उसको बोलते हैं मॉर्बिडिटी। तो प्रोडक्शन कम होने से बचाता है अगर हम अच्छे से हेल्थ मैनेज करें तो। प्रोडक्टिव कैपेसिटी इनहांस होगा, रिप्रोडक्टिव एफिशिएंसी भी इंप्रूव होगा। हमारा जो ट्रीटमेंट में जो कॉस्ट लग रहा है उससे क्या है, इनपुट कॉस्ट भी बढ़ रहा है तो वो भी रिड्यूस होगा। साथ ही साथ व्हाट विल हैपेंस, इट विल इंप्रूव वेलफेयर एज वेल एज प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी ऑफ द फार्म। नाउ द डिफरेंट पिलर्स ऑफ हेल्थ मैनेजमेंट like nutrition, housing, biosecurity and hygiene, disease prevention and monitoring. So these are the different pillars. We should provide the balanced diet to the animals, provide ventilated and comfortable housing to the animals. Biosecurity should be biosecurity means like food bath, vaccination, deworming. These are the cleaning, sanitization. These things should be maintained in the farm. Disease prevention, we should do vaccination of the animals, deworming of the animals time to time. Monitoring, early detection of the disease should be there for the proper treatment and to prevent loss in treatment. तो अब हम देखते हैं कि हेल्थ मैनेजमेंट में क्या क्या डिसीजेस हैं। तो यहाँ हम देखते हैं एक डिफरेंट स्पीसीज में अलग अलग टाइप्स के डिसीजेस होते हैं। जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल कैटल, बफेलो, शीप, गोट, इसमें एफएमडी क्या होता है, फुट एंड माउथ डिसीज। ऑल स्पीसीज सफर फ्रॉम द फुट एंड माउथ डिसीजेस। एचएस क्या होता है, हेमोरेजिक सेप्टिसेमिया। कैटल एंड बफेलो सफर फ्रॉम एचएस बट नॉट शीप एंड गोट। सिमिलरली ब्लैक क्वार्टर also influence cattle and buffalo. Brucellosis influence all the species of animals. Anthrax all the species of animals. LSD lumpy skin disease जो कि अभी काफी उसमें चर्चा में चल रहा है, वो भी कैटल एंड बफेलो को मेनली अफेक्ट करता है। पीपीआर क्या है, पीपीआर पेस्टिडिस पेटिस रुबिनाइटिस है जिसको बकरी प्लेग भी कहते हैं, गोट प्लेग। ये मेनली शीप एंड गोट में होता है। एंट्रोटॉक्सिमिया, शीप पॉक्स शीप गोट में होता है, गोट पॉक्स भी गोट में होता है ऑनली। ब्लू टंग शीप गोट में होता है, फुट रॉट भी मेनली शीप गोट में होता है। तो ये इस तरह के कुछ मेन डिसीजेस हैं विच आई हैव लिस्टेड इन डिफरेंट स्पीसीज ऑफ एनिमल्स। Now the treatments of the different parasites. So there are different types of parasite, like external parasite and internal parasite. External parasites includes ticks, lice, mite, flies, and mosquitoes. What are the different medicines like cypermethrin, deltamethrin, permethrin, amitraj? So these are the different types of ectoparasiticides which are utilized for the control of external parasites. And internal parasites like roundworm, tapeworm, lungworm, flukes. So the medicines which controls these internal parasites are albendazole, fenbendazole, levamisole. Ivermectin is a drug which is called endectocide. Endectocide means what? Effective against internal and external both parasites. Now the vaccination schedules. So vaccination, this is the chart for the vaccination of animals time to time. Like we vaccinate the animals against anthrax, black quarter, brucellosis, FMD. So in anthrax, immunity provided for the one season and once in a year before the monsoon. We should focus that before coming monsoon, we should vaccinate all the animals. So black quarter, once in a year immunity, it provides immunity for one season and dose 5 ml subcut. Brucellosis, strain 19 live vaccines are given. About 6 months of age, first vaccination is done, and then only it is the vaccination against brucellosis is done once in a lifetime. And dose 2 ml subcut and to be done in infected herd. Foot and mouth disease, first vaccination given in 6 months of age, and then again repeated after booster dose given after the 4 month. Provide immunity for the one season and 3 ml intramuscular injections given. So these are the different type of vaccination. Now the animals are also vaccinated against hemorrhagic septicemia. Oil adjuvant vaccine is given once in a year. Vaccinated the animals provide immunity for one season, 5 ml subcut dose rate. Like that, theileriosis and tuberculosis are also there, against which animals should be vaccinated to prevent from the occurrence of diseases. Now the quarantine. What is quarantine? क्वारंटाइन क्या होता है कि जो एनिमल का इंक्यूबेशन पीरियड होता है डिसीज का, सॉरी, जो एनिमल में जो डिसीज होते हैं उनका इंक्यूबेशन पीरियड लगभग 21 डेज होता है. 21 डेज में हमको उनके सिम्टम्स समझ में आ जाते हैं. तो जब हम न्यूली एनिमल को परचेस करके लाते हैं तो अब हम उनको क्या करते हैं, डायरेक्टली हर्ड में नहीं मिलाते, उनको अलग से कहीं दूसरे जगह पे हमको रखना होता है, जिससे कि अगर उनको कोई डिसीज हो तो वो उन्हीं में ही रहे, हमारे हेल्दी हर्ड में ना जाए. तो इसीलिए इसको क्या बोलते हैं, दिस इज द आइसोलेशन एंड रिस्ट्रिक्शन ऑफ द apparently healthy animals that have been exposed or suspected to have been exposed to an infectious disease for a period equal to the maximum incubation period. A minimum 21 days is allowed and the location is away from the main herd. जो भी न्यूली अराइव्ड एनिमल है उसको एटलीस्ट 21 डेज के लिए हम लोग को हेल्दी हर्ड में मिक्स नहीं करना है, उनको हमको अलग रखना है, जिससे कि उनका अगर वो कोई किसी डिसीज से सस्पेक्ट हो तो वो हमारी हर्ड में ना आए. और 21 डेज के बाद जब कंप्लीट होता है तो सिम्टम्स एराइज हो जाएंगे और हमें पता चल जाएगा कि वो कौन सा डिसीज है, तो उनको वही ट्रीटमेंट करके हमको हेल्दी कर देना है. इसलिए ये ऐसा करना चाहिए. फार्म बायोसिक्योरिटी क्या है? फार्म बायोसिक्योरिटी वो है, इसमें 3 प्रकार का होता है. एक तो आइसोलेशन है, ट्रैफिक कंट्रोल है, सैनिटाइजेशन है. तो आइसोलेशन में क्या है कि क्वारंटाइन न्यूली परचेस्ड एनिमल फॉर 2 to 4 वीक. जैसे हमने बताया कि 2 to 4 वीक तक कम से कम न्यूली परचेस्ड एनिमल को सेपरेट रखना है. सिक एनिमल को हेल्दी एनिमल से सेपरेट रखना है और कोशिश करना है कि जो हमने ग्रुपिंग बनाई है अपने फार्म पे उनमें मूवमेंट रेस्ट्रिक्ट करना है. सेकेंड क्या है, ट्रैफिक कंट्रोल. हम हमारे फार्म पे अगर कोई विजिटर्स या व्हीकल्स आते हैं उनकी एंट्री हमको लिमिट करनी है, क्योंकि उनके थ्रू भी इन्फेक्शन हमारे हर्ड में आ सकते हैं. विजिटर रिकॉर्ड मेंटेन करना है. एंट्री और एग्जिट पॉइंट डेसिग्नेटेड होना चाहिए, ऐसा नहीं कि कहीं से भी कोई एंट्री कर रहा हो. और साथ ही साथ एक बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट बात है फूड बाथ. फूड बाथ वहां रहना चाहिए फार्म पे, शेड इंट्रेंस पे, विथ डिसइंफेक्टेंट्स लाइक ब्लीचिंग पाउडर एंड पोटेशियम परमैंगनेट. तो इस तरह के कुछ हैं जिनका हमको सॉल्यूशन बना के फूड बाथ एंट्रेंस पे रखना चाहिए कि जो भी जाएगा वो वहां से अपना फुट डिप करेगा और फिर फार्म पे एंट्री करेगा। व्हीकल्स कोई आएगा तो उनकी जो भी व्हील्स है वो उसमें पहले डिप होंगी, फिर हमारे फार्म पे एंट्री होंगी। तो लाइक दैट हमको फुट बाथ मेंटेन करना चाहिए। Sanitization, regular cleaning and disinfection of sheds should be there. Equipment like feeding and watering equipment should be disinfected and clean. Vehicles should be clean. Provide clean feed and water. Proper disposal of manure and carcasses. जो भी manure और जो waste products है animal का, उसका proper disposal की भी सुविधा होनी चाहिए। अब हम देखते हैं record keeping। रिकॉर्ड कीपिंग में क्या है कि वी शुड मेंटेन आइडेंटिफिकेशन रिकॉर्ड्स, बर्थ एंड ब्रीडिंग रिकॉर्ड्स, हेल्थ ऑब्लिक ट्रीटमेंट रिकॉर्ड, वैक्सीनेशन एंड डिवॉर्मिंग रिकॉर्ड्स, मिल्क प्रोडक्शन रिकॉर्ड, मोर्टलिटी एंड कलिंग रिकॉर्ड्स, फीड एंड इनपुट एक्सपेंसेस रिकॉर्ड्स. So these are the different type of records we should maintain in the farm. Why the record maintenance is essential? If we have better records, it makes our management easy, help in decision making, for better farm planning के लिए हमें help करता है. अर्ली डिटेक्शन ऑफ हेल्थ एंड प्रोडक्शन प्रॉब्लम, जो भी रिकॉर्ड है उससे हमारा हेल्थ और जो भी प्रोडक्शन प्रॉब्लम है वो हम डिटेक्ट कर सकते हैं. ब्रीडिंग एफिशिएंसी इंप्रूव कर सकते हैं. फाइनेंशियल मैनेजमेंट एक्यूरेट होता है और साथ ही साथ प्रोडक्टिविटी प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी भी हमारे फार्म का बढ़ता है. तो इस तरह हम देख सकते हैं कि रिकॉर्ड कीपिंग इज वेरी एसेंशियल इन द टू रन द फार्म. हमें कब एनिमल की ब्रीडिंग करानी है, कब हम उनकी ट्रीटमेंट करानी है, कब उनकी वैक्सीनेशन करानी है, दिस ऑल डिपेंड्स अपॉन द रिकॉर्ड्स. तो रिकॉर्ड्स इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट विच शुड बी मेंटेन इन द एनी लाइवस्टॉक फार्म. Good record means better management and enhanced profitability. Now the animal welfare in livestock farming. There are 5 freedoms of animal welfare. Animals should be free, means they should freedom from hunger and thirst, freedom from discomfort, freedom from pain and disease, freedom to express normal behavior, and freedom from fear and distress. So these are the 5 freedoms of animal welfare. So we should also, along with the production enhancement, we should focus on better health and welfare of the animals. Now the challenges in livestock management. There are different challenges in livestock management like feed scarcity, disease outbreaks, climate change, low genetic potential, and poor management practices. फीड स्कैर्सिटी क्या है? अभी क्या है कि ज्यादातर हमारे जो ग्रेजिंग लैंड है वो श्रिंकेज होते जा रहे हैं, ह्यूमन इंटरवेंशन हो रहे हैं, हमारा फीड फॉडर का भी एरिया धीरे धीरे घटा जा रहा है. लोग क्या कर रहे हैं कि फॉडर कोई भी नहीं उगाता, तो इस तरह से फीड स्कैर्सिटी भी हो रही है. डिसीज आउटब्रेक्स, मतलब डिफरेंट टाइप्स के नए नए वेक्टर्स और नए नए मतलब जेनेटिक उसके कारण म्यूटेशन के कारण डिसीज आउटब्रेक्स भी हो रहे हैं. क्लाइमेट चेंज हो रहा है. क्लाइमेट चेंज कभी आपने देखा होगा इरेगुलर रेनफॉल, ड्राउट, इस तरह से क्लाइमेट चेंज हो रहा है, ग्लोबल वार्मिंग हो रहा है. तो ये दीज आर द डिफरेंट चैलेंजेस इन लाइवस्टॉक मैनेजमेंट. लो जेनेटिक पोटेंशियल, हमारे जो भी मतलब वैसे हमारे कंट्री में सबसे ज्यादा लाइव स्टॉक है, लेकिन क्या है कि ज्यादातर एनिमल के जेनेटिक पोटेंशियल बहुत लो है. तो आप उनको चाहे कितना भी खिलाओ पिलाओ, वो अपने लेवल से ज्यादा परफॉर्म नहीं कर सकते. इसलिए उनका क्या है, लो जेनेटिक पोटेंशियल है. और साथ ही साथ यहाँ पे क्या है कि मैनेजमेंट प्रैक्टिसेस, साइंटिफिक मैनेजमेंट प्रैक्टिसेस का अवेयरनेस मोस्ट ऑफ द फार्मर्स को नहीं है. तो इसलिए क्या हो रहा है कि मैनेजमेंट प्रैक्टिसेस भी सही नहीं है बिकॉज ऑफ द लैक ऑफ अवेयरनेस. तो इस तरह से क्या हो रहा है कि ये हमारे चैलेंजेस हैं हमारे कंट्री में. अब एट लास्ट जो है आई कंक्लूड दैट लाइवस्टॉक, साइंटिफिक लाइवस्टॉक मैनेजमेंट इंक्रीजेस प्रोडक्टिविटी एंड प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी. प्रॉपर हाउसिंग, फीडिंग, ब्रीडिंग एंड हेल्थ केयर आर एसेंशियल टू एनहांस वेलफेयर ऑफ द एनिमल्स. प्रिवेंटिव हेल्थ केयर इज मोर इकोनॉमिकल. हमने सुना होगा कि प्रिवेंशन इज बेटर देन, आपने सुना होगा प्रिवेंशन इज बेटर देन क्योर. तो हमें क्या है कि डिसीज होने से एनिमल को बचाने के लिए हमें हमेशा डिवॉर्मिंग करना है. हर 3 मंथ में डिवॉर्मिंग करनी है और वैक्सीनेशन भी टाइमली हमको शेड्यूल के हिसाब से फॉलो करनी है. गुड मैनेजमेंट प्रैक्टिसेस इंश्योर सस्टेनेबल लाइवस्टॉक प्रोडक्शन एंड एनिमल वेलफेयर. So these are all about the different aspects of scientific livestock management which should be followed to maintain and to enhance profitability of the herd. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for such an informative.
If anyone wants to ask any questions,
So
you all
participants are having several queries. So I'm asking one by one. How does climate change affects the livestock productivity and reproduction?
okay.
Ankit
Actually,
Kumar Singh.
uh, climate change means sometimes we observe their heat stress, problem of heat stress. If there is more extreme hot season is there, then the heat stress, animals suffer from the heat stress. And when animals suffer from the heat stress, then their homeostasis balance mechanism disturbs. And thereby what happens, whatever we miss feed intake of the animal reduces. And when feed intake of animal reduces because of the problem of heat stress, and thereby it deteriorates the productive capacity of the animals. And also metabolic rate also decreases, because what happens when animals suffer from the heat stress, most of the energy utilized to maintain the body temperature of the animals. So the energy which will have diverted towards the production enhancement, that energy diverts towards the maintenance of the body temperature. So that's why there is decrease in the productive as well as reproductive potential of the animals.
I'm asking is increasing livestock population the right way to approach for increasing production?
What? Please ask again.
Is increasing livestock population is the right way to approach for increasing production?
Actually, not merely we should focus on increasing the population. Along with increasing livestock population, the genetic potential of the animal should also be enhanced. Because although we have highest number of livestock in our country, but most of the livestock possess poor genetic potential. So what happens? We provide more amount of this, whatever amount if we will increase amount of feed, fodder, concentrate, although that the animal will not perform up to their level. So the genetic potential enhancement is also important along with the increase in number there. And therefore there are several breed improvement programs are going on, like All India Coordinated Research Project on Goat Improvement, Network Project on Bhadauri Buffalo, Murrah Buffalo. So these are the different breed improvement programs going on in order to enhance the genetic improvement of the animals along with the population.
What happened if we avoid non-veg food over vegetarian food in livestock management? What happened if we avoid non-veg food over vegetarian food in livestock management? And does it helps in the preservation of animal and unwanted killing of meat for meat production?
Please clarify your question.
The query is from Ankit Kumar Singh. He is asking, what happened if we avoid non-veg food or vegetarian food in the livestock management? And does it helps to preserve the animal from unwanted killing for meat production? He's asking about unwanted killing. There are killing and poaching related issues. So I think he's asking for the same. And additionally, he's also asking to avoid non-veg food over vegetarian food for livestock management.
Actually, there are different welfare related issues
So
are also there.
both aspects are different, but I think he's
it is different from this aspect. Actually, although that I'm giving answer, actually, there are certain welfare issues are there. So but in our country now, there are vegetarian populations are also there and non-vegetarian populations are also there. So if to satisfy the need of non-vegetarian populations, we we are rearing the livestock for what? For meat purpose also, for milk purpose also. Sheep and goat mostly meat purpose animals. So therefore it is essential to slaughter them to satisfy the need of the animal human. And humans require both type of protein, like animal protein also and plant source protein also. Animal proteins for the to fulfill their nutritional requirement, because in animal protein all essential amino acids are there, but not in plant proteins. So to fulfill that nutrient requirement also, the animal source of feed requirements are there. And it depends upon person to person who prefer to take non-veg and who prefer veg, like that. This is a separate issues, depends upon individual to individual.
So I hope you get the answer. So another query is from Thomas. Can I get the books in goat keeping? So he's asking about the books for goat keeping.
Goats, yes, goats.
Such
Several
for
books are
guidance for
available in goats.
limited.
Like Shastri Thomas books are available. Jagdish Prasad books are available. So several books are there in goats.
So thank you so much. I think there is no query. So we don't have any other query. Thank you so much, ma'am, for such an informative session. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much.
So now I take this opportunity to express my heartfelt gratitude and propose a vote of thanks. On behalf of organizing committee institution, I extend sincere thanks to the speaker, Dr. Pooja Tamboli, ARS scientist, senior scale in plant animal relationship division at ICR, Indian Grassland and Food Research Institute, and Dr. Inna Kabolisana, Associate Professor and Head Department of International Economics Relations, Director of LCA Hub Research Laboratory at Sumy State University, Ukraine. Our organizing university, Rani Lakshmibai Central Agriculture University, Jhansi, University of Agriculture Sciences, Raichur, Swami Vivekanand Subharti University, Meerut, J.D. Goenka University, Gurugram, Sant Girira Guru Vishwavidyalaya, and institution, AFTEFS Society, Vital Biotech Education Group, faculty members, experts, and our societal president, AFTEFS Society, Dr. Jitendra Mehta, Vital Biotech Education Group, and technical sub-teams. We are also thankful to all of the participants who have joined us from different parts of the country. Your presence has made this technical session truly meaningful and memorable. With this, we conclude the day 16. All participants are requested to please join tomorrow at 6 p.m. Wishing everyone a productive, enriching, and successful 21 days Krishi Manthan summer training program. Stay connected and keep learning. Thank you so much, and Jai Hind to all.